forces into blue team and red team. Blue team is the good guys, red is the bad guys. But they handed the red team command to this ornery, really obnoxious. I mean, apparently he's obnoxious even by high-ranking military officer standards, which means you don't ever want to be in an elevator with him. His name was Paul Van Riper.
That's a very Strangelove name, you know. Paul Van
and
Riper.
if you see his photo, it looks like he spent 60 years being permanently offended and angry. He didn't see that it was his job to take a dive for the blue team. For all I know, there probably were some people who passed him over for promotion, and this was all about embarrassing the hell out of them, which does not detract from the fact that he did manage to embarrass the hell out of them.
God, this is a Bill Murray movie, right in the making.
Yeah. Bill, if you're out there.
Anyway.
And what he did was basically sink most of the U.S. fleet in the Persian Gulf. And he did it doing everything that the U.S. has revealed to be its weaknesses over my lifetime. First of all,
teammate, I need your support.
Got an ultimatum from Blue Team, like, we will attack within 24 hours unless you do something about this. And by the rules of the game, they weren't allowed to do anything to placate Blue Team. So I'll just read you this summary. The article I wrote is called "You Sank My Carrier," and it's from long ago. But that's too long. I'll just read this summary of what Riker did.
Attention, support that target.
It's kind of brilliant. Red Team, commanded by retired Marine Corps Lieutenant General Paul Van Riper, adopted an asymmetric strategy. And remember, this is happening in the Persian Gulf. In particular, using old methods to evade Blue's sophisticated electronic surveillance network. Van Riper used motorcycle messengers to transmit orders to frontline troops and World War II-style light signals to launch airplanes without radio communication. I'm not sure how important that is. That might be, but the next part is really beautiful. Red received an ultimatum from Blue, essentially a surrender document, demanding a response within 24 hours, which, you know, is really bad military strategy. It tells the enemy exactly when you're going to attack. We're not supposed to do that, but we do it all the time. Anyway, thus warned of Blue's approach, Red used a fleet of small boats to determine the position of Blue's fleet by the second day of the exercise. That is, Van Riper used small boats to determine the position of the U.S. fleet. And okay, I've been at the marina in Kuwait, and Kuwait is just one of a lot of cities full of very wealthy people along the southern coast of the Persian Gulf. The place swarms with private boats 50 feet long, and they all go out all the time, just wandering around, pretending to fish or just sunning themselves, whatever. It's full of civilian craft. Identifying which of those might be a threat would be a nightmare. So this is not, again, the NATO battlefield of some quasi-wilderness in the world where it's just mano a mano, you versus the Soviet. Those days are over. This is a place that's full of, as you know, civilians. So he gets this ultimatum, identifies the enemy fleet, and then in a preemptive strike, launched a massive salvo of cruise missiles that overwhelmed the Blue Force's electronic sensors and destroyed 16 stations, including an aircraft carrier.
Wow.
Now, this is very, very simple. The U.S.
That's the entire American population's free health care for a year. Gone. Yeah. I mean, in terms of dollars.
Sailors and Marines would have died if this had been the war. And this and it runs true for everything I'm going to say about the possibility of an Iran-U.S. war, which is an anti-missile missile is infinitely more complicated than an unguided ballistic missile. In the same way that a bullet can hit a bullet is millions more complicated than a simple Newtonian physics bullet out of a gun. To hit that bullet once it's been fired, you need extraordinary electronics. The bullet itself needs none.
Attention, reporting the target position.
So the aircraft on its ships, well, it's never been clear that they're totally effective. But they are meant to cope with fighter jets, again, fighter jets attacking the ships. And that means a few very expensive attackers that can be killed and then you're free. Very cheap, unguided, or somewhat guided missiles in enormous numbers. Those weapons can't handle it.
And that's 16 years ago, before the real, before the drones got much bigger. I mean, now, hey, everybody can giant fleet.
Requesting assistance.
Yeah, I mean, drones are already being used as weapons. Even Islamic State, under pressure in its last days in Raqqa, was able to weaponize drones and use them against the SDF. So everything about military technology suggests bad for the U.S. configuration and getting worse. Yeah, Ragged was there 16 years ago, so but the other things here are really interesting. First of all, the casualties. The ship sunk included 1 aircraft carrier, 10 cruisers, and 5 of 6 amphibious ships. So if you were ever around the coast of Iran, forget that. If you're ever around forget that. An equivalent success in a real conflict would have resulted in the deaths of over 20,000 service personnel. Soon after the cruise missile offensive, another significant portion of Blue's Navy was sunk by an armada of small red boats, which carried out both conventional and suicide attacks that capitalized on Blue's inability to detect them as well as expected. It suggests that the U.S. Navy has been lying about its ability to even see the radar signatures of small pleasure craft. And if there was one lesson from 9/11, it was the distinction between a civilian and a military aircraft is a matter of who's piloting it. So basically, he takes a bunch of those yachts from all the harbors, Abu Dhabi, well, more on the Iranian side, but all the pleasure craft, stacks them full of explosives and rams them into these very expensive, highly fragile, electronic-loaded warships, and they go down. So
suicide yachts.
Yeah, suicide yachts. It's an incredible concept.
It is.
But sure, and part of that is another great weakness of U.S. forces, which is they're still dealing with this world in which there's a clear distinction between we're at war or we're not at war, which is why he attacked first and attacked while waiting for the ultimatum to expire. The other distinction that they still believe in is military versus civilian, and that's a fake distinction. You can't make it anymore. You could be having a big party, waving, girls in bikinis, and you can still blow up. It's not hard to figure out that that's the way to get in close. So the U.S. Navy at this point would have to declare a gigantic exclusion zone and basically would have to shut off most of the Persian Gulf to shipping, at which point I would assume that Iran has a few tankers that are also wired to blow up, so they'd be getting escorted through the Straits of Hormuz and then they blow up. It's just too many ways to use this. So what happened in 2002 is again,
The ship is on fire!
At this point, the exercise was suspended. Cruise ships, that is the sunken American ships, were, quote, refloated, unquote. And and the rules of engagement will change. This was later justified by General Peter Pace as follows. Quote, you kill me on the first day and I sit there for the next 13 days doing nothing, or you put me back to life and you get 13 more days worth of experiment out of it. The better way to do it. I think a real
Enemy battleship foundered.
It's like, well, it depends. If you're mainly worried about getting your money's worth for the experiment,
Problem
sure,
solved,
but
sir.
there is this thing like when you're dead, you're dead. When you suck, you suck. That's kind of how it works. So after that, both sides were ordered to follow predetermined plans of action. Participants were forced to follow a script drafted to ensure a blue force victory. Among other rules imposed by this script, Red Force was ordered to turn on their anti-aircraft radar in order for them, that is the anti-aircraft system, because one of the weapons on which the aircraft rely are anti-radar missiles. They home in on a radar signal that's scanning the skies and they zap it at the source.
Turning off radar is so common.
People are onto that, I'm afraid.
I know.
Yeah, there are many ways you can have fake sources. It's as if these guys expected to be playing a game of tennis or something, and this is not tennis. And Red was not allowed to shoot down any of the aircraft bringing Blue Force troops ashore. I don't even know if there was a justification for that, because it's the easiest thing in the world. The easiest way to kill invading troops that are coming in by air is to kill them while they're in the air. Crash will kill them. And you can't do that now. Van Riper also claimed that exercise officials denied him the opportunity to use his own tactics and ideas against Blue Force, and that they also ordered Red Force not to use certain weapon systems against, I would love to know what those weapon systems were, against Blue Force, and even ordered the location of Red Force units to be revealed.
Jeez. You know what this reminds me of? Those stories in the Yeltsin years that came out about Chernomyrdin, who was the big, roly-poly, corrupt Gazprom prime minister of Russia. That they turned out when he would go hunting, he was an avid hunter, that his minions would tie a bear to a tree, and then he would stumble across it and get down really sneaky and shoot it and kill it, and then bring it home and brag to everyone he killed a bear.
Wow. Yeah. There's a weird echo of Teddy Roosevelt in that.
I know.
Supposedly the teddy bear started when, after an unsuccessful hunt, somewhere down in the South, I think they dragged a bear cub over to him and said, "You can shoot this, sir," and he refused and became America's sweetheart all over again. I remember stories like this all the time from when I used to follow weapons procurement progress as if my life depended on it. I was a strange commuting student wretch. And I remember one program called the Sergeant York anti-aircraft vehicle, which was basically a reverse-engineered Soviet ZSU-23 quad vehicle. And it was supposed to be useful against both armor and anti-aircraft, except it didn't work. And it finally got scuttled when they found out that in order to help it was supposed to hit, the Department of Defense had ordered somebody to attach infrared beacons to these old hulks of tanks that it was supposed to shoot. And that was the only way. Otherwise, it would fail all. This was long enough ago that it got out and then managed to squash the program. I'm not sure that that makes that. These are things you have to do. But yeah, these things are always very, very corrupt. And Van Riper is unusual only in that he refused to play along, maybe not because he's such a